Thanks for being here today. Today we are going to talk about 5 gross symptoms of hormonal changes, imbalances, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, all the things that can occur. And don't even really want to say gross because they're not gross. It's stuff that just happens, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because it happens to every woman. You cannot escape going through perimenopause and menopause. You may not have all of these symptoms, you might have some, but you are definitely going to have some kind of symptoms from the decline of estrogen and progesterone that we go through. So let's just get into these fun 5 symptoms. Thanks for being here today, ladies. My name is Cynthia Williams. I am an integrative nutrition practitioner. I have been in this industry for well over 20 years at this point. And as a 46-year-old mom of a 5-year-old this week, I understand a lot of this, what you're going through. I work with hundreds of women that are going through these hormonal transitions, and I help them understand their body and what these transitions are and the choices that we can make with lifestyle and nutrition to either blunt some of these symptoms, improve the symptoms, or modify or adapt to lessen the symptoms and the frequency and the intensity of these symptoms that we have. So these 5 symptoms I want to talk about, these are, I say they're gross because they're the less talked about of symptoms, and I want to do videos like this and talk about it so that we normalize it and understand you're not by yourself going through these types of symptoms. Symptom number 1 is hair. Either hair growth in places that we don't want hair growth, or hair loss in areas where we want to keep the hair on us. So a lot of women start to experience hair thinning. You start to experience thinning of the eyebrows, and that really bothers us, or it bothers a lot of women, especially the hair on the head. There are lots of things that you can do for the hair on the head. Lifestyle, diet, and exercise are a big one, keeping our insides and our biomarkers healthy as possible. I will say a marker for thyroid issue, especially low thyroid, is when you start to lose the tails of your eyebrows. So if you're starting to lose the tails, don't just necessarily associate with menopause. I would go get some labs run and just make sure that thyroid is functioning properly. And thyroid decline is part of menopause, so I guess you could tag it to either one, but you just want to be sure so that that it is not, there isn't something deeper with the thyroid going on. So for hair loss, there's great options out there right now. Like we have Nutrafol, there's Vegamore, which is what I personally use because I'm starting to experience some little thinning like right here on my temples. So I have started using that on my eyebrows and my temples, and it's worked great for me. Micro needling or a derma roller is really good for hair rejuvenation and hair growth as well. So there's plenty of options that you can have out there. You just kind of need to research and figure out which one would work best for you, your lifestyle, and would help you with that hair growth. Now, when it comes to hair growing in unwanted spots, I had this one little black hair. I picked it the other day that is starting to grow here, and it's coarse and it's different than all the rest of my hair. But hair growth on your chin, you may notice it on your cheeks, on your chest, in areas where we typically don't want it. That again, that is a sign of perimenopause and menopause, that decline of estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. In those areas, we tend to have a little bit of unwanted hair growth. So you can go the professional route, go somewhere and have it lasered off. If you're uncomfortable with that, or where you're having the hair growth makes you maybe a little bit uncomfortable sharing that with other people, there again are so many home options now. There are home lasers that you can do for hair growth. You can dermaplane, you can just shave it off, whatever modality you are comfortable using. But again, there are plenty of options out there for you to use to remove that hair and make yourself feel more comfortable. But don't be embarrassed, don't be ashamed by it. It's happening to every woman, whether they have unwanted hair growth or they have unwanted hair loss, or maybe you even have both, but it's happening to all of us. Okay, number 2 is your mouth. And this does not get associated a lot with perimenopause, but perimenopause can have a big impact on your oral hygiene. You can have increased sensitivity. You can have TMJ is actually a sign of perimenopause. You can have lockjaw. You can have, I don't want to say odors, but different, like the tastes are changing in your mouth. So a lot of symptoms can be correlated to perimenopause because estrogen touches a lot. Estrogen touches basically every tissue in a woman's body, and it actually has a big impact on our mouth. So as we're having that decline of estrogen in our mouth, we're going to have different symptoms, feelings, and things like that occur in our mouth as well. So going on HRT is a really good option for women who are having painful mouth, lockjaw, TMJ. Getting that estrogen back into the system and talking to those tissues again can be a big symptom reliever. If you're not into doing HRT, I would go to the dentist just to clear that there isn't something deeper going on at that point. Then you can go to, I would look at, I have a video, I'll link it below as well, that talks about different adaptogens that you can start taking to help with hormonal balance. I would look to maybe take some of these adaptogens to help relax some of these muscles and help provide some relief from the symptoms that are coming in the mouth to help you, be more comfortable again, because there's nothing worse than having constant pain or irritation or not being able to chew your food correctly. That starts to inhibit the quality of life, and we don't want that. Number 3 is one that I want to talk about because many clients have experienced this, and I want to normalize it because women think there's something wrong with them, and that is that their body odor is changing. And this is common, it's normal. And the reason that it occurs is because we're starting to have a lot of body temperature fluctuations, right? You're having hot flashes, you're having night sweats. So you're having sweat on your body more times throughout the day than you had before. Of course, that is going to alter your pH. So some things that you can do to help yourself with this is, one, if your deodorant that you used to use is no longer working, change it up. It's not you don't have to suffer through it. Change up the deodorant, find one that does work for you. The second thing is wearing cooling clothes. Sleeping in sheets like bamboo sheets and bamboo pajamas are really good at keeping body temperature low. Sleeping at night with cool temperatures in your room to keep your sweats down, your night sweats down. Using fans, using cooling rags, using things throughout the day to help lower that core body temperature, drinking ice cold water, drinking dark cherry juice before you go to sleep at night. These are things that can lower that core temperature to help you reduce those body sweats, those body temperature changes that are resulting in you sweating more and resulting in body odor changes. Number 4 is skin, and I can speak to that. Big. That's probably the thing that is bothering me the most. I am here today in front of you, fresh faced, no makeup. I'm going to get my very first chemical peel today, so I didn't want to put anything on my face, but I'm starting to have, some of this right here and just not the volume, I could use a little lift like that, but the things that occur, the crepiness, the sunken in because we're losing volume, we're losing, that collagen in the face, the lines, the wrinkles, all of those things that you start to notice more. I feel like when you hit 45, you see it. And then from a lot of my clients that I talk with, when you hit 50, you see it again. It's just like these, one day you wake up and you just look and you're like, God, I look old, or I'm noticing these changes on my skin, and not just the face, the body as well, like the elbows, the knees, the thighs, all of that, you start to see these changes. So things that we can do for the skin. One, obviously, there's a ton of cosmetic procedures out there. If that's the route that you want to go, all for it. I am 100% for you do you, whatever you feel works for you to help with that. We have biostimulators that can be injected in the face now to increase collagen. Your neurotoxins, the Dysport, the Botoxes in the face to reduce those lines and wrinkles in the forehead and the crow's feet. One of my favorite things to use is called a derma roller. I will link this below as well. I have noticed huge changes in my skin using this derma roller as far as helping with volume of the face, reducing fine lines and wrinkles, reducing texture, reducing redness and spots. It's really, really good for that. You can do chemical peels, lasers, and then aside from all that cosmetic stuff, because I don't care how much cosmetic stuff you're doing. If you are not exercising, if you are not getting good sleep, if you are not hydrating, if you are not eating a lot of fiber and a lot of protein in your diet, it is not going to do as well on you as it would somebody that is doing all of those things. You have to get the insides healthy. You got to get your biomarkers in a good spot. That is one of the best anti-aging things that you can do for your skin, not just your face, but your entire body. Being hydrated, high fiber, good sleep, good protein, good whole foods most of the time, and then adding in or supplementing with your cosmetic procedures that you like to add in to help with volume loss, crepiness, lack of moisture, color dysregulations, texture changes, all of those things that come, one, with aging, but two, that lack of estrogen is a big one for how our skin looks as a woman as we age. And number 5, I saved this one for last, the best one for last, because this is the one that women will not talk about, but it's vaginal atrophy, okay? Estrogen and progesterone are big ones for touching or maintaining vaginal tissue, the integrity of it. And it's not just pain that comes with sex as you age, but it's pain with exercise. It's pain just during the day doing normal things. And then the other, incontinence, is a big one that starts to come when we're losing that tightness and that firmness of the tissue. So there are lots of things that you can do, ladies, for this. You do not have to suffer with this. Okay, one thing that you can start with is vaginal DHEA. I will link a couple below for you. You can buy one over the counter, one is prescription. This can help with vaginal integrity and tissue and improving it and reducing pain that you have in that area. The other is HRT. You can do a vaginal estrogen. And if you are one that's worried about estrogen systemically, like increasing your cancer risks or anything like that, one, I'll link this below, that you read a couple books and you get really well educated on HRT and the likelihood of its chances increasing cancer. But two, take in vaginal estrogen it does not get into your body. It means that it is not systemic, okay? It means that you can put it in there. It basically stays localized to that tissue. I will say, clients that have done that, the bigger concern or the bigger risk that comes with the vaginal estrogen is yeast infections, because more estrogen in that area can contribute to yeast infections. So a lot of clients do have that complaint of taking the estrogen. But again, it's per client. You may need to adjust the dosing. Anytime that you're going to go on HRT or take some kind of hormone therapy, it's not going to be right out of the gate. I mean, you might be that outlier that one time it is, but almost always you're going to have to titrate and adapt and play with your dosing to find what works for you. So if it doesn't work immediately, don't give up on it. Try, a different dose, a different brand, a different type, because there are several to choose from when it comes to that. Next thing is looking for a pelvic floor specialist. There are physical therapists out there that specialize in pelvic floor therapy, and they can work with you on specifically strengthening the muscles in the vaginal wall, the canal, all of that kind of area to improve incontinence and reduce pain when it comes to exercise or sex. There are plenty of resources for you to tap into to improve that. There is also a new device on the market called Joy Lux. I will link it below, and it's red light therapy for the vaginal tissue. You insert it, you turn it on. I think it's a 10 to 15 minute session that you do. And if you're familiar with red light tissue, it is fantastic for improving muscle tissue recovery, and it can help with strengthening those tissues down there. There's been a lot of research done on it in helping with postpartum women that have had tears, giving birth, and then with women with incontinence, and it showed vast improvement for them as well. So, like I said, there are many types and tools and forms of therapy that you can do to improve that area. But just, it is going to be a little bit of work. You're going to have to put a little bit of effort into it. But when you're in perimenopause and postmenopausal, what isn't work at this point, right? So if you just kind of lean into it versus trying to fight it and being open to these tools and these resources, this period of your life can be so much better. We just have to change some things, you know, things that we were doing when we were younger, we can no longer do. And now we have to do some things differently than we've done before. And that just is what it is. Lean into it. Love it, love yourself, and just carry on and keep trucking and being that awesome woman that you are. So, okay, you can find all of my information at cynthiawilliamswellness.com. Please subscribe if you are here. Make sure you hit that little bell so that you get notifications for my videos that I release. I release 1 to 2 women's wellness videos each and every week, and I appreciate your support. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.